YouTube, what the crap's going on? Heir of Carthage here, and I've got what I feel like is going to be something pretty exciting. I'm playing the King and the Warlord cinematic trailer. So this was announced, and we will talk through some of the details. I'm actually pretty excited about it. Some people feel like this is just a repeat of the Grim and the Grave, and I guess it kind of is, and probably should be, since the Vampires and Empire got that kind of treatment. Would you not want it for the Dwarfs and the Greenskins? The answer for me is yes. Yes, I do want it. This thing's going to come in at about $7.19 US if you pre-order it, and I think it's going to be closer to... Woo! Got some thunder going on outside. Anyway, yeah, it's going to be about $8 US, I think, if you buy it after release. So there is a discount for getting it early. So yeah, we'll talk about prices and other stuff later. Let's look at the content. Here you're being introduced to, if I say it right, Belegar Ironhammer, who's going to be a new Dwarf Lord. So there he is. And, yep, we'll talk a little bit more about him. Here I just want you to kind of see the characters that they're introducing. There's going to be a Goblin Warlord here. Skarsnik, you can see a new unit there kind of sitting next to him, which a lot of people are pretty excited about. We'll talk about that too. So there's Skarsnik, the Night Goblin Warlord. Pretty sweet. Squig Hoppers. A lot of people were asking for these. I didn't know anything about them. Bolt Thrower is going to be a new unit for the Dwarfs. Pretty exciting. Looks like a ballista almost. Apparently made for killing giants. Here you're going to have Nasty Skulkers. Dwarf Rangers, which is a particularly cool looking unit, if I do say so myself. And being a fan of the Dwarfs, I'm going to like this. Night Goblin War Boss, also a really awesome looking unit. And then the Rune Lord on that Anvil of Doom, might I add. Squig Herd. So yeah, it's introducing some of the new units you're going to be seeing in this DLC, and this is pretty exciting. I like these units. The stuff that we're seeing here is cool. It's awesome to see some additions for the dwarfs. And I mean, who's going to... I mean, honestly, Warhammer is one of those games to me where I'm not saying that any old crappy DLC is acceptable, but good DLC is actually welcome to a game like this. I almost feel like... So I never played tabletop or anything. But I can imagine that if I did, I would want to be collecting more things to make my army complete, right? I'd want to collect more miniatures and get them painted and get everything right. And this game, even though it's in like a digital form, is kind of that way for me in the sense that I want to collect more stuff for this game and try out the new units. And that's one thing I have to give credit to Total War Warhammer. This game makes me want to play every faction, and it makes me want to understand every faction because they're so different. And stuff like this just expands that in my view, and I love it. So we're going to talk a little bit through some of this. And so some of you may be like, well, you're all for this DLC. When it's, in my opinion, this looks like good DLC. And yes, I'm excited about it. Well, I want more race packs. Well, I want more race packs also. But this is going to be pretty cool, so let's read through it. And then I'll answer some of your questions down in the comments if you all have questions for me, so I won't get too far off in the discussion. So you're going to get 2 new Legendary Lords, new quest chains, magic items and skill trees, 2 new additional Lord types. So that'll go along with the Legendary Lords, kind of like what we saw with the Grim and the Grave, right? Where you got Strigoi, and you got like Vlad and Helmut, and you got Volkmar, and the, oh crap, what do we call it? It wasn't a warrior priest, now I'm going to forget the name of it. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. That one guy that you're all writing in the chat right now. So, anyway, so the Clan Angrund, if I say that right, Angrund, is going to reclaim Karak 8 Peaks. And Clan Angrund is the one that's going to be led by Belegar Ironhammer here. And it has, so when you play as Belegar in the main campaign, you're going to have a unique starting position, which is really cool. And he has unique abilities and stuff that he can give to his units. Let's look at this. So he has a unique start position. Starts with the ownership of the walled settlement of Karak Izor in the Border Princess territory. So that's cool. You get to start in a different spot as the dwarf, so it'll make that more unique. The campaign bonuses. So when you choose to lead a campaign, you get Spirit of Ancestors and his companion heroes. King Lun Ironhammer, Thane. Halkenhoff Stonebeard, Thane. And so you get all these, and they're ethereal heroes with all the benefits that the ethereal trait provides. So there's going to be ethereal heroes that go along with this guy. That's so freaking cool. I love that. So again, it's something that I've just really enjoyed about this game being fantasy, is that you can just keep pulling out awesome stuff like this. That's going to be awesome to have like the ethereal heroes to go with the army. I'm super excited for that. It says Belagar is going to embark on quest to attain his 2 legendary items, the Shield of Defiance and the powerful ancestral rune weapon, the Hammer of Angrun. Sorry if I pronounced these wrong. I'm not familiar with this. Now let's talk about Skarsnik, Warlord of the 8 Peaks. This guy's also looking cool, and I have to admit the squigs are looking freaking awesome. It's going to be a lot of fun to get these units out in the game. So Skarsnik is the chieftain of the Crooked Moon tribe, widely acknowledged as the most powerful night goblin in the World's Edge Mountains. So it gives you a little background on him. Skarsnik begins in Karak Azgraz in the West Grey Mountains. The campaign bonuses, when you pick Skarsnik, you get to play with his vicious giant cave squig Gobla, who never leaves his side, so that's going to be awesome. Goblin Big Boss hero. So that's pretty cool. You get to start with the Goblin Big Boss hero and the giant squig Gobla. So Skarsnik has unique skills which buff Goblin units and bring reduced upkeep for Goblin units. So for Gobbo Super Magic, you've got to be excited about this, right, man? I know there's a lot of you Goblin lovers out there, so you've got to be really excited about this. I am. And honestly, I'm thinking about just restarting my Greenskin campaign when this comes out so we can check it out, because I'm really excited. I'm thinking about firing up a Dwarf campaign and a Greenskin campaign with these guys. I know some of y'all want to see Chaos, but I got a feeling there's probably going to be more DLC for them too, so I might just hold off on that Chaos campaign and let's play some of this new stuff. So that's probably where I'm going next. There's new lords. You got the Rune Lord for the dwarfs. So if we look at it, it says they're the most skilled practitioners of the runic arts. So I'm assuming they're going to be probably somewhat like a lord version of a runesmith, and they can use the Anvil of Doom as a mount, which is going to be cool. I'm assuming it's probably going to be like some kind of support unit, maybe like what we saw for Volkmar and Helmungorst and others, which is really, really cool. Night Goblin War Boss is going to be another lord type you can pick, which would be kind of like a miniature version of Skarsnik, I'm assuming. Has Night Goblin and Squig, so it has unique skills which enhance capabilities of Night Goblin and Night Goblins and Squigs. And then at level 12, they can be mounted on a Great Cave Squig. So that's pretty awesome. It says it gives them greater damage, resistance, speed, and attack power. So new units. So, and this is the cool thing too. Remember, these are going to be like different factions. So when you have this different starting position, they have their own banner. And if you play co-op campaign and you want to play like a co-op dwarf campaign, one of you can play as dwarfs and the other one can play as Clan Angmar or whatever, Clan Angrunt. Yeah, that's it. I'm getting Lord of the Rings and this confused here. Or if you want to do Greenskin, someone can be Crooked Moon, and there's going to be other stuff. This is going to be really exciting. So Crooked Moon is going to get Squig Herds, Night Goblin Squig Hoppers, Nasty Skulkers. Now this is really cool. Nasty Skulkers are a goblin infantry that have stalk and armor piercing. This is big for people who want to have an all-goblin army. And then also when you look at Squig Herd, they're anti-infantry war beasts, which would be very helpful for an all-goblin player as well. So that's pretty exciting. And for Clan Angren, you're going to get, so remember this is the dwarfs, you're going to get Rangers, which are kind of like a range/melee unit. They're fast, they have Vanguard deployment, and they also have stock, which is pretty cool. And they can be upgraded with great weapons as well. There's a special unit called Bugman's Rangers, which is going to be, can stalk Eternal Vengeance Seekers for the destruction. The Master's Fabled Brewery, I like this. Interesting. Must be like a sweet unit of Rangers. So the Bolt Thrower is a field artillery that's armor piercing. Hopefully this helps the dwarfs against flying units. That'd sure be helpful. There's unique building chains. So Clan Angren owns Karak 8 Peaks, and this is just in Karak 8 Peaks. It says level 1 makes it more defensible. Level 2 focuses on rebuilding it, so it's going to give public order bonuses and reductions in corruption. And level 3 is going to give you like all kinds of cool like magical attacks and like some other really sweet stuff. And then for the Crooked Moon, if they own Karak 8 Peaks, let's see, it says, so yeah, level 1 makes it more defensible and gives huge siege holdout time bonuses. And then you have obedience bonuses at level 2, and then level 3 starts giving level bonus experience to heroes and global experience for all units, and reduces dwarf morale in surrounding regions. How cool is that? So new dwarf building chain, so you're going to have Ranger Outpost up to Ranger Barracks, and there's new technologies that it talks about here too. And for the Greenskins, you're going to have Squig Cages, which are a tier 3. There's going to be new techs that it mentions here as well, and then there's a Regiment of Renown for each of these factions, which this is going to be so cool, man. I'm really excited about this. Let's look at some of these units because they are cool. You've got Ulthuar's Rangers, which is Rangers with great weapons. It decreases enemy missile deflection and resistance. That's awesome. Peak Gate Guard, which is Hammerers. They have magic attacks with hammers. That's going to be insane. Probably help out against vampires, that's for sure. They're immune to psychology, which also helps against vampires, and they sunder armor, which I don't know exactly what that means. I'm going to have to take a look at that. Goblobber Grudge Thrower, so it's enhanced morale grudge throw, and it reduces target morale on impact with screaming goblin ammo. This just sounds great. Skyhammer Gyro Bomber, which drops multiple bombs per drop, so finally maybe a gyro bomber that might be fun. Ekrund Miners, which are miners with blasting charges that have more charges and frenzy. Warriors of Dragonfire Pass. This is a dwarf warrior, which is anti-infantry with flaming attacks, so again, good against units who regenerate. The Skolder Guard, which are Iron Drakes. Now, these guys have armor-piercing projectiles and physical resistance. That's going to be helpful for Iron Drakes. And then you have Norgrimling's Iron Breakers, which is a Vanguard deploy Iron Breaker that is immune to psychology and has an increased unit size. That's pretty cool. And then Dragonback Slayers, which is a Slayer unit with charge defense. Yes, finally, a Slayer unit with charge defense. It's going to be so helpful. Physical resistance, fire resistance, reduces the target speed, and increases target flammability. This is going to be great for the dwarfs. They need this, and I hope it's a good unit. And the last one you have is the Old Grumblers, which is a Longbeard with great weapons. It says AoE ally fatigue augment, so this is going to keep your army from tiring out, which actually does have a huge impact on fighting capability, so a potentially nice support unit. Now, if we look at the greenskins, they got Durusty Errors as a Night Goblin Archer with armor sundering ranged attacks, and it's poison. Moon Howlers, which is a Goblin Wolf Rider that induces fear. That's going to be cool. Deaf Creepers. It's a Goblin Spider Rider that has regeneration and stalk. That's awesome. These guys are going to be sneaky. Teef Robbers. I love these names, by the way. A Goblin Wolf Chariot that can Vanguard deploy and actually hide in a forest. So, again, more sneaky. Morgrub's Mangy Marauders. Perfect. Goblin Wolf Archer that's immune to psychology and armor-piercing projectiles. That's big. That's going to be big. And I'm just sitting here thinking about poor Chaos right now. So the dwarfs get more units, the greenskins get more units. Chaos is just going to continue to blow unless some other things change in this patch. And I'm assuming Chaos and Beastmen might get this kind of treatment eventually. So we probably just have to be patient. We got the Hammer of Gork, which is a Goblin Rock Lobber that has debuffs, targets missile accuracy, melee defense, and melee attack. It also has poison attacks. Durkit's Squigs, which is a Night Goblin Squig Hopper with missile resistance. The Eight Peaks Loonies, which is a Night Goblin Fanatic. This is Unbreakable Dwarf on a Chain. I don't know what that means, but I like it. Broken Tusk Mob is an Orc Boar Boy Biggin that's armored and encourages other units. The Crimson Killers, so an anti-infantry dual-wielding great weapons AoE attacks Black Orc. That's going to be insane. Looking forward to that because Black Orcs are a crazy good infantry as it is. The Warlord's Boys, which is a Night Goblin that's immune to psychology and sunders armor. And then this one really kicks it off here. Venom Queen, which is the Arachnarok Spider, and it can summon spider hatchlings into battle. I gotta see that. That's gonna be cool. This looks like a really neat DLC to me, and I'm excited about it. Hopefully this gives you a little bit of insight. I do not have access to this DLC yet. Typically, Creative Assembly will let me get a hold of this kind of stuff a little early. I hope they do. I'll be looking for communication from them. And obviously, the first moment that I am able to show you something from this DLC, whether it's early or launch day, whatever that be, I will cover it. So make sure you come on back and check it out. I think this is going to be cool. I don't know how it's going to land these factions in multiplayer. Will it move the dwarfs up? Will it move the greenskins up? I have no idea. We'll have to kind of wait, test the units when they come out, see how it plays out, and see whether or not it's going to really rebalance the factions in multiplayer. But just from a campaign perspective, this is going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to this. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments. Appreciate you watching this. Hope you enjoyed. Heir of Carthage, signing out for now, and I can't wait to get my hands on the Warlord and the King and the Warlord. I'll see you there. Check the description for links if you want to see the official content.